Donald Trump has said that he will speak to Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelenskyy to end the bloodbath between their two countries after the Russian president skipped peace talks he had initiated with his Ukrainian counterpart. But Trump over the weekend on Saturday said in a post on his Truth Social platform that the call with Putin would cover subjects including, and I quote, stopping the bloodbath that is killing on average more than 5,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers a week, and trade. He will then speak to Zelenskyy as well as various members of NATO is what he's added. But the statement came after Putin refused to meet Zelenskyy in Turkey, despite proposing the meetings himself, as the Russian leader continued to refuse to engage on terms that were set by others. Putin sent a low-level delegation instead, as we had informed you, led by his former culture minister, Vladimir. But for further clarity on what to expect, joining us live from Washington, D.C., senior journalist Ray Locker. Always a pleasure, Ray, to have you on our show. Realistically, can one-on-one calls by the US president meaningfully alter the war's trajectory, though, Ray? Or is the broader coalition still essential to any durable ceasefire? What's your take?
You got to have a lot of people working together on this. One-on-one call between President Trump and Vladimir Putin probably won't get it done. They've talked before and nothing has really happened. Right. And we've seen the Trump administration change repeatedly over the 120 days they've been in office, where they've been putting the pressure on Ukraine, then on Russia, kind of throwing up their hands in frustration at Russia's intransigence. And now we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the Russians barely showed up in Turkey. And so, I'm not optimistic, but, maybe something could happen this time.
Russians barely showed up in Turkey. Putin proposed the Istanbul talks, then skipped them. So, Ray, how do seasoned observers read his refusal to engage directly, even as Trump enters the scene?
Well, they don't think he's serious about having a peace deal. Every time there's talk about doing something, there's talk about talks, maybe some kind of low-level negotiation. The next thing you know, a bunch of Russian drones or missiles show up, in parts of Ukraine and kill a bunch of people. And it happens over and over and over again. We saw a few weeks ago, Trump tweeted out or put on Truth Social, Vlad, stop, and nothing stopped. So, it's over and over again. We keep seeing it, and you wonder, how many times do people need to be fooled about this before something changes?
But as we speak, Donald Trump still says that there can't be a peace deal without him. So would you argue that the White House is now personalizing the Ukraine peace process under Trump's brand of diplomacy?
Oh, absolutely. I remember, when he was running for president and in the run-up to the inauguration, he said he was going to have a deal in one day.
Absolutely.
Well, it hasn't been one day. And he said, oh, that was an exaggeration, whatever. No one really knows what he means. No one knows where he stands, because he constantly changes his mind, as we've seen with tariffs and so many other things. So it's really hard to get a read on it. It's got to be tremendously frustrating for the Ukrainians.
Ray, as we wrap, what are some risks and possible rewards of Donald Trump negotiating directly with two wartime leaders without a multilateral framework in place?
Well, I mean, he needs the support of other powers in this. He needs the EU to weigh in. If he tries to cut some unilateral deal with Russia and the European Union doesn't go along with it, how viable is that? And then that weakens everything else if he reaches a one-on-one deal with the Russians that Ukraine hasn't bought into. So he needs to have everybody on board, but he hasn't really done the homework for that yet.
Ray, as always, thank you so much for joining us with your views. We really appreciate your time, and we will, of course, revert to you for regular updates.